Hi guys, a little dark in here. I don't know if you can see me, but I just wanted to let you know I drilled those screws out, as you'll see. What I ordered was a helicoil set where I'll open the original drill hole up a little bit more and reline it with a new thread, so I'll be able to use the stock screws. But I also bought some longer screws so I'll get more bite in there, because the helicoil is a good repair, but I don't believe it's as strong as original threads. Actually, in this case it might be stronger because the helicoil threads are going to be steel and those original threads were aluminum. Another way to do it is cert repairs. They're expensive. I'm not going to do that time cert, but that's another kit you can buy for repairing threads. So shit happens. What do? You roll with it, man, and you do what you got to do. Either way, I'm going to have the fender secured on as good as it was before. So lesson learned. Don't use a shitty bike stand, and don't take your fender off. All right. I hope you'll watch the video and please support the channel. Thank you. Hi guys, Paul here at Paul Phillips Fix. Thanks for tuning in. This is the first time I'm doing this, but I'm making sure I'm doing it right. I'm changing the tires on my BMW K1200R Sport. It'd be similar for the K1300S, K1200S as well. Because I don't have a stock muffler, I didn't have to remove the muffler at all. I was able to get the rear wheel off, but if you do have this stock muffler, you're going to have to remove it, or at least loosen it and drop it down to get it out of the way. And be careful not to scratch your rear rim with your brake rotor. Don't ask me how I know. It can happen, but it can happen. This is not the first time I had the wheel off of this bike. So like I said, this is the first time I was doing this. I didn't have a pit bull bike stand, which I wanted to get. I got a piece of junk where I couldn't even get the axle out at first. I had to bend it. So I didn't think I was going to have room to get the tire out of the bottom. So what I did is I went to take my fender off and two of the bolts snapped. I believe BMW Loctited those bolts in. I don't think you need to take your fender off, but if you do, what you can do is use heat. You can't put heat directly on the bolt, the fastener, because there's plastic there. What you can do is heat a tool and put the tool to the fastener, and it will transfer the heat into the fastener. That's a trick to get the Loctite loose. Afterthought, you know, I thought it was just dragging a little bit, but they were actually breaking. So they're like $2.40 a piece from BMW, so I ordered 4 of them. But what I wanted to do, the reason I'm giving you this now, starting this before I go into the removal of the tire, is I wanted to give you guys all of the torque specs for this. This is not off of Google. This is from the BMW shop manual. So I'm going to give it to you as it says in there. Quick release axle in threaded bush. So that's the axle itself. It's a M24 by 1.5. It's 50 Newton meters or 36.8781 foot-pounds. Then you have the axle pinch bolts. They call them axle clamp screws. Those are 19 Newton meters or 14 foot-pounds. I'll type this out and put a little section in the video somewhere along the line. Then the front brake caliper mount to the fork is 30 Newton meters or 22.1269 foot-pounds. Then the rear brake mount, which you don't need to do now, but that's good if you're ever doing your rear fluid or doing brakes. That's 24 Newton meters or 17.7015 foot-pounds. Then the rear wheel to the flange, that's 60 Newton meters or 44.2537 foot-pounds. So if you go 44 foot-pounds, you're good. I figured a lot of people have foot-pound wrenches, being that we're here on the Imperial. I think it's the Imperial scale, right? But I have Newton meters on mine, so I'll go by that. So we're going to go ahead and do this. What did I want to tell you? There was something I wanted to tell you. Oh, with the pinch bolts. I loosened both of my pinch bolts. Then when I went to back the axle out, it was just spinning. So you need to leave the left side pinch bolt tight so you can back that axle out, the shaft, okay? I'm using molybdenum sulfide grease on mine. BMW uses some silver lubricant. The moly grease is not going to hurt anything, so some people I've heard in the forums put regular axle grease on them, so I'm going to go with the moly. All right, I just got the tires back. They didn't even put the right pressure in them, so the bike, the owner's manual calls for 42 in the rear and 36 in the front. I'm running a little softer than that. I'm running 38 on the rear and 34 on the front, or no, 33 on the front. I'm sorry. That's a personal preference too. You're gonna have to, you know, different people, different sizes, different weights, different riding styles. If you go with a lower pressure, you're gonna get more traction because you're gonna have a bigger contact patch. The downside of that is your tires are gonna wear out faster. So if you're not riding so aggressive, if you're just doing more touring, then go with the 36 and 42 and your tires will last longer, okay? All right, let's get on to the tires. Let's go! GoPro, stop recording. Okay, let me see where I can get you here so you can see. What I did is I used copper never sees, aluminum never sees on there. They'll be fine too. Come on, Wendy. Wendy's coming to give me a hand. Wendy's my trusted assistant. I'd be screwed without Wendy.
No,
just hold this a second.
Okay. Right.
You're going to be taking this part, slide this in through the wheel. Hold that. That's going to go in that hole there.
Okay.
I'm going to line the wheel up. Okay. Let me make sure this is clean. Hold up. Okay. That's it. That's simple. It was that simple, Mimi. That was pretty easy, right?
Yep.
What does it look like I'm missing a spacer for there? Why's my wheel all over the place?
Does this have to be on?
But this goes in and spaces it. Alright. I was surprised there was no spacers in there. Alright, butts right up to it. Alright. I've seen people where they removed them and they had spacers in there. This has no spacers. Nope. Just like that. Alright, I will torque that up after I get it on the ground. Now I'm going to put the brake calipers back on. I'm not trusting this bike stand, guys. So I want to drop this wheel down on the ground. Then I will torque it up. The brake caliper bolts are the same, front and top and bottom, I mean. Not front and back, top, front and bottom. I think those were T45. If I'm not mistaken, I believe those were T45. Yep, those are a T45. You can wind up using too small of a torch by mistake and you'll strip out your fastener. Always start these things by hand, guys. That's why I like this T-handle wrench. I can feel everything I'm doing here. Now another important thing, before you go getting on your bike, make sure you pump your brakes up, because you're not going to have any front brakes for a little while there until you get your pistons extended to where the pads are on the rotor. I don't think anybody wants to go for a ride with no front brakes, right? I don't. I need a pad. I'm old and broken. I can't kneel on the ground. I am looking so forward. I'm excited about riding these Conti Sport Attack tires. They have a sportier profile than the Michelin Road 5s I had on here. The Michelin Road 5s are a great tire if you do touring riding, just touring, and you don't want to try to get as much of a sporty feel out of your bike as you can. I would highly recommend those Michelin Road 5s. Especially if you're riding the rain. They are a fantastic wet weather tire. So I have to torque up both of these pinch bolts. This one's just snugged a little bit to hold that so I can torque the axle. I'm going to get the rear wheel on. Wendy, I'm going to need you again. Maybe. bought a static balancer. I was going to try to do my own tires, but static balancing, you're not going to get as precise as you do with a dynamic balancer. So I don't want shit vibrating on me on the highway. All right, back tire can't go on yet. It's got to come off of the center, that's front stand. Got to come off of there first. I should have thought of that, but I didn't. But like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm going to snug that front axle bolt up a little bit. You're going to need one of these. It's axle nut, 22, 24, 19, and 17 mil. Get my torque wrench set up to that. That was 60 Newton meters, correct? No, that's not 60 Newton meters. I'm wrong. $50 Newton meters. That one is 50 Newton meters, or 50 Newton meters, or 36.8 foot-pounds. 36.8. Go 37 foot-pounds. I knew I went too far. I didn't feel it click. Oh, that's not tight at all, guys. That doesn't go in tight at all. Alright, now I'm going to drop it down now and leave it on the center stand. I'm not trusting this bike stand, man. This thing's a piece of shit. I was so paranoid that I was going to drop this motorcycle. That would not be a good scene. I would not be happy about that at all. Those are T45s too, I believe. The pinch bolts. Yep, those are T45s as well. $14 foot-pounds. I'd rather use my smaller torque wrench for a more exact reading. $19 Newton meters or 14 foot-pounds. 19 Newton meters or 14 foot-pounds. 14 times 12 and do it in inch-pounds. See if I can go up to that. 168 inch-pounds. Go. When you're torquing something, make sure you have a smooth sweep. If you stop and restart, you're gonna need more torque to get the bolt moving again. So if you're not sure if you got it, back it off and try again and try to do it in a smooth motion, okay? Now the calipers I'm going to do. .22 foot-pounds. Twenty-two times 12. $264. Doing the other side. Pumping my brake up. I'm gonna ride this sucker with no fender on it because I need my motorcycle fixed. Alright, now I can get that rear tire in there. Set my torque wrench up. That's 60 Newton meters, I believe, the flange bolt, correct? Let's see, it was 60. I'm shot. I can't remember things, guys. 60 Newton meters or 44.2 foot-pounds. 44.2. have not had it done, there is a recall on this bike for that rear flange. What was happening, I think it was aluminum, and people were over tightening it and it was cracking. So if you haven't over torqued it, it's not an issue, but it's a recall anyway. It's done at the expense of BMW. If you have not had that done, I recommend you do so. There are several recalls on here. One is a chain, timing chain jump guard that can save your engine from catastrophic failure. You definitely want to get that one taken care of. The original, let me show you the original. The original timing chain tensioner looked like nearly a flat plate here. Then they had an improved one that was similar to this with a reservoir in it. I had changed it to the improved one. I'm sorry about the dog. Come on, man. I'm filming. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, guys, I was trying to say before my dogs went absolutely berserk. The original timing chain tensioner on this was flush. They had a tendency to bleed down and relieve the tension on the timing chain tensioner, and when you start the engine it would jump a tooth or two and the valves would crash into the pistons and destroy the engine. This is what's called an interference engine. The valves and the pistons share the same space at different times, and when the timing goes off, the two of them try to share the same space at the same time and your engine's ruined. So the improved tensioner has a reservoir that looks similar to this but black, and I had installed that and it was good for a while. Then I got horrid timing chain sounds. I thought that my timing chain rail broke, but I went in there with an endoscope camera and there was no damage. So I got a Southern California Motor Works mechanical tensioner I put on there. This, you know, I'm more comfortable with this. I'll adjust it. So that's what I did on my bike. But the original timing chain tensioner is a recall item. So is that jump guard. It's like a $10 part, but it can save you from destroying your engine. So I definitely recommend that you get that. So I put the rear wheel on. It's a little fiddly. You got to line it up. I'm going to put it in gear. Now torque it up. Going around double checking them. We don't want any rear wheels falling off, do we? So guys, that's how you change your tires on a BMW K1200R Sport. I hope that's helpful to somebody. Be wary if you're going to try to remove your fender. I don't think I had to pull that fucker off. I'm pissed off about that, but shit happens, guys. Live and learn, you know? Not a catastrophe. So I'm going to have to drill those broken bolts out. Maybe I'll make a video of that. I do have more videos about coolant flush on here. Not coolant flush, coolant refill with the vacuum adapter. You put it on here and you put the coolant system under vacuum and then suck the coolant in, so you have no air pockets in there. That can be detrimental as hell to your engine and destroy it as well. What else did I do? The muffler, new windscreen, rear brakes, front brakes, so, and a bunch of rides. So, well guys, thank you very much for joining me today, and if you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you do. It doesn't cost anything. There's no obligation. You can unsubscribe at any time. It just shows YouTube somebody's watching. all your comments and likes and stuff show YouTube somebody's watching us, and we don't disappear into the netherworld of algorithms. So brainstem here, working with what I got. It's all fried, you know, I'm old. So stay safe out there, guys. Take good care of your bikes, take good care of you, take good care of your cars, your tools, your loved ones, and your families, and take good care of yourselves. Be safe. Bye bye. See you soon. GoPro, stop recording.